Wine had been trapped for hours, her trembling fingers desperately trying to catch a signal on her phone. Nothing. The air inside was heavy, suffocating, almost poisonous. Darkness crept in like a living shadow, swallowing every corner of the room. The walls reeked of damp decay, the floor thick with dust and filth. The stench was unbearable, rotting, choking. Her body shook violently, her heart pounding as if the fire itself was alive and crawling beneath her skin. Then the sound, the whisper of insects crawling surrounding her phobia surged through her veins like venom. Wine's breath turned ragged, her throat glowed dry, sweat soaking her body. She pressed her nails into her arms until they bled, trying to hold herself together, but terror shattered her piece by piece. When her vision blurred with exhaustion, she heard it, the door slowly cracking. Her heart nearly stopped. She stumbled to the corner, hiding, suffocating in silence. Then, Vian, Vian. The voice cut through the dark, familiar, dangerous, comforting. Her entire body trembled. Kiko, she rushed to him, clinging with desperation, her lips pressing frantically against his face as though to prove he was real. She kissed his forehead, his lips everywhere, like he was the only thing keeping her sane. Tears burned down her skin as she whispered, broken. Why, and my baby, if you weren't here tonight, would have been my grave. Kiko is just making noises with his mouth. His words simple, almost childlike. Kiko, let's go home, let's go home. He didn't understand. He didn't feel the weight of the terror that had almost consumed her. She tightened her grip on Kiko's legs, but her mind wasn't calm yet. She wiped her tears quickly and forced herself to breathe steady. She could not afford weakness now. Before leaving, she moved through the room again, her eyes sharp, calculating every trace of her panic, her footprints on the dust, the faint marks on the wall, even the small drop of blood from her own nails. She erased them one by one. She straightened the chair, pushed the scattered dirt back into place, made the door lock untouched. Her hands trembled, but her mind was cold. If Jungkook ever found out she had been here, if he discovered she had witnessed what she wasn't supposed to, she knew there would be no mercy. Wine whispered to herself, almost like a vow. Wine, no one will know, not even him. Then she turned to Kiko, her smile forced but convincing. Why, let's go home, my love. Behind her, the darkness of the hidden room slowed. Everything once more, silent, secret, waiting. Wine closed the door gently, her eyes burning with the knowledge she could never speak. Jacob must never know she had been here. Wine slipped into her room exhausted. Kiko ran straight to the corner where his food was usually kept, waiting with that innocent, expectant stare. Wine forced a smile, her trembling hands filling his bowl. He devoured the food hungrily, making little impatient sounds while he poured water into his dish. Watching him eat so desperately pierced her heart. He had followed her into hell itself and somehow saved her. When he was done, Wen turned to her own hunger, but the kitchen was empty, cold, lifeless, no warmth of fresh food. She pulled a few frozen meals from the fridge, heated them quickly, and ate in silence, her mind replaying every shadow, every voice from the hidden room. Just as she was finishing, her phone lit up, ringing insistently. Jack and Jenny, a video call. She answered, and Jack's frantic voice burst through immediately. Jack, why and where the hell have you been? We could not reach you since morning. Jenny's face appeared just as anxious. Jenny, I have been trying non-stop. We thought something happened to you. Wine exhaled, her expression calm, but her voice edged with steel. Wine, everyone relax. I found one of Jungkook's secret places, but I got trapped inside. I could not get out. Both of them froze, shock spreading across their face. Jenny's voice cracked. Jenny, then what? How did you escape? Wine's gaze softened for the first time that night. She reached for Kiko, pulling him closer into frame. Wine, I have never thought Kiko would follow me there, but he did, and he's the reason I'm alive right now. Jack and Jenny listened silently as Wine unfolded every detail: the hidden door, the suffocating darkness, the foreign man speaking with Jungkook, the weapons. Their faces hardened with each word. Jack muttered almost to himself, Jack, thank God Kiko was there, otherwise. He stopped, shaking his head. Wine, what are you planning now? Wine's eyes narrowed, her tone cold, determined. Why, no more delays. We finish this mission before he even suspects. Tonight we failed, but tomorrow we don't get another chance. I feel like there is nothing in the office. Everything is at home. Now I have to target his house. Jenny leaned closer to her screen, her voice firm despite the fear in her eyes. Jenny, it's okay. You will get everything you need soon. We will make sure of it. For a while, the three of them speak in hushed urgency, planning, hoping, fighting off the heaviness of what had almost happened. Then, one ended the call, the silence pressing against her walls once again. She looked at Kiko, who had already curled up, fast asleep, completely unaware of the weight he carried in her heart. One whispered to the dark, almost like a vow to herself, "When this ends before he never finds out." Morning arrived. When walked into the office, everything seemed normal. When she entered the private room, Jungkook was not there yet. She sat quietly, her hands folded on the desk, the silence thick around her. A few minutes later, Jungkook entered. Wine immediately stood. Wine, good morning, sir. Jungkook's lip curled into a faint, unreadable smile. Jungkook, good morning, my dear personal assistant. The words came out deeper than usual, his voice carrying a dark weight that slid under Wine's skin. Her breath hitched, goosebumps rising along her arms. She froze, staring at him, unable to hide the sudden shiver that ran down her spine. Jacob gave a crooked smirk before sitting down, not saying another word. The air between them grew heavy. Both of them worked in silence, as if speaking too loudly might shatter the fragile atmosphere. Soon the time of the meeting arrived. One broke the quiet. One, sir, we have a contract with a new group. The meeting will begin shortly and the documents will be signed afterward. Jungkook lifted his gaze, his dark eyes studying her. Jungkook, everything prepared? Wine, yes sir, already. Jungkook, show me the project's files. One carried the files to him. He opened them, flipping through each page with sharp precision. Then his voice cut the silence again. Jungkook, what did you do here? Wine leaned in, bending over the desk to explain, her fingers tracing details in the file. She was focused on the pages, so focused she didn't notice Jungkook wasn't looking at the file anymore. He was looking at her, breathing in the faint, intoxicating fragrance from her hair. The scent of that was uniquely hers. His chest rose slightly deeper with heavy breath. One finished explaining, and only then did Jungkook abruptly turn his head away. Why, all good? She asked softly. Jungkook, came with the low, gravelly reply. The sound sent a strange shiver down her spine. One straightened quickly, retreating to her seat, her heartbeat betraying her calm face. Moments later, it was time. They both stood to head to the meeting. One turned to say something, but the moment she pivoted, her shoulder collided with his chest. She lost her balance. Before she knew it, she was on the floor. Jungkook had fallen over her. Their lips collided. Once eyes widened in shock, her heart thundering inside her chest. She froze, her palms pressed against his chest as if to push him away, but her body would not move. Then Jungkook's eyes closed. His mouth moved against hers, slow, deliberate, claiming. Vi's heart pounded so loud it drowned out every other sound. Her breath caught, her body stiff with panic and confusion, and just as suddenly as it began, it ended. Jungkook pulled back, rose without a word, and walked toward the meeting room with measured step, like nothing had happened. One stood shakily, her legs weak, her fingers instinctively brushed her lips, her eyes flowing, his retreating back. Her pulse was still racing, the ghost of his kiss burning against her. One stepped into the meeting room, her pulse still unsettled from earlier. She forced herself to fix her posture, to look composed, though her mind was far from steady. The memory of what had just happened with Jungkook burned inside her, threatening to distract her from the mission. She walked toward him slowly, taking her place at his side. His presence loomed heavy, his silence even heavier. Jungkook's voice broke through the thick air. Jungkook, Mr. A.S. hasn't arrived yet, I see. Mr. William, A.S.'s personal assistant, rose quietly. Mr. William, sir will be here any moment. And then the echo of footsteps filled the corridor. The door opened. Mr. S entered. One's eyes widened instantly, recognition striking her like lightning. It was him, the man from that night, the one whose blood she had taken, Asher. He walked in with effortless confidence, and the moment he spotted her, his lips curved. He lifted his hand casually, Asher high. He mounted, eyes lingering on her. One forced a small nod in return, her chest tightening. She didn't notice the way Jungkook's gaze sharpened, following every glances, every subtle movement between them. His hand resting on the table, closed tightly around his pain. The meeting began. One explained the project details. Her voice steady through her nerves burned beneath the surface. Asher listened, but his eyes kept dropping lower, as though studying her rather than the files. Jacob noticed everything. His knuckles turned white around the pain. By the time the agreements were signed, the pen in Jungkook's script had cracked. Asher exchanged his hand with a smooth smile. Asher, so our new projects begin today. Have a good day, Mr. Jeon. Jungkook merely gave a stiff nod, shaking his hand without a word. His face betrayed nothing, yet the weight of his silence lingered like a storm about to break. Without looking back, he walked out. One gathered documents, her fingers trembling slightly. She turned to leave, but Asher stepped in front of her. Asher smiled warmly the moment he saw Vian. Asher, so we met again. I never knew you worked here. His tone was soft, almost surprised, carrying no hidden sharpness, just a gentle curiosity. Wine, I joined only a few days ago, Asher. That's wonderful. Then I guess from now on we will be seeing each other often, at least until this project ends. His words weren't heavy, they sounded almost casual, but the warmth in his eyes made Wine hesitate for a second. She gave him a polite smile. Wine, yes, I suppose so. Asher chuckled softly, like he truly meant no harm, no hidden intention, just genuine friendliness. He bent slightly forward, lowering his voice as if really only meant for her. Asher, I'm glad. It feels nice to meet a familiar face here. One stayed quiet, trying to keep her composure while gathering the papers. That's when she noticed the broken pen, the black ink smear across the documents, sharp and unsettling. Her chest tightened. She remembered whose hand had gripped that pen moments ago. Her sudden change didn't escape Asher. He broke, frayed slightly, concern flashing across his face. Asher, is something wrong? One quickly shook her head, forcing a smile. Why, no, nothing at all. I just have a lot of work to finish. If you don't mind, I should get going. Asher, of course, don't worry. He stepped aside politely, his smile still soft, innocent, almost too pure for the darkness brewing around them. One hurried away, clutching the stained paper. Asher's gaze followed her retreating figure, gentle, amused, a little too curious. Then, almost unconsciously, he smiled to himself, a quiet, harmless smile. One could not make herself step into the office room. She froze at the doorway, her thoughts spiraling, her chest tightening, those papers stained with ink, the pen snapped in half, the weight of Jungkook's dominance lingering in her mind. Her heartbeat quickened, uneven, wild. She could not now. She needed an excuse, any excuse. And with that, she turned away. The office hours were already over, so she slipped out. Her only thought was to escape, to get home. The parking lot was dimly lit when she reached it. Just as she fumbled for her keys, the low growl of an engine broke the silence. One turn, her breath catching in her throat. Junk. Her body stiffened, every hair on her skin standing on end. His car rolled up to her slowly, deliberately, until it stopped right beside her. Jungkook, get in, I will drop you home. Her pulse thudded louder. She stammered, her voice trembling. When I can go on my own. His gaze curved into her, deep, unyielding. His voice dropped lower, commanding. Jungkook, when I said get in, I mean it. There was no escape. Her hand shook slightly as she opened the door and slid into the passenger seat. She pressed herself back, clutching her hand tight, when suddenly Jungkook leaned close. One squeezed her eyes shut, bracing herself, but instead the click of the seatbelt echoed between them. Her eyes fluttered open. Jungkook smirked, the corner of his lips curling into a sly, knowing smile before starting the car. The drive was silent, too silent. One realized with a jolt that Jungkook never asked for her address, and yet the car slowed, pulling up right in front of her home. Her breath hitched. How did he know? The car stopped. Jungkook said nothing, not a word. Almost on instinct, one scrambled for words. Why, thank you, sir. Maybe you should come in, have some coffee. Jungkook's lips curved again, this time into a darker, more amused smile. Jungkook, not tonight, maybe another day. The casualness of it unsettled her more than refusal. Ma stood frozen at the gate of her home, her hands still trembling as the sound of Jungkook's car faded into the night. Her mind screamed at her, stay away, he is dangerous. He is not someone you should ever let close. But her body betrayed her. Her lips still tingled with the ghost of his kiss from earlier. Her heartbeat refused to come down, as if it was still in sync with his presence. It wasn't just fear, it was something darker, a pull, something about him clawed at her soul, his dominance, his silence, the way he knew things he should not. It unsettled her, and yet somewhere deep down it thrilled her. One shook her head, pressing a hand against her chest as if she could force the feelings away. No, I can't afford this. He is not a man I should be drawn to. And yet, as she turned toward the door, the truth whispered back at her. It was already too late. When hurried back home, her nerves still raw. The moment she opened the door, Kiko fluttered his wings excitedly. Kiko, welcome wine, welcome wine. The warmth of Kiko's presence dulled the storm in her chest. She fed him, played with him, let herself drown in the simple comfort of his company. For a while, she almost forgot the suffocating weight of Jungkook's gaze, the stolen kiss, the unspoken threat in his silence. But then her phone rang. Reality glowed back. She answered. Jenny's voice sharp, hurried. Jenny, any updates? One's tone shifted. Cold, professional. Why? No, nothing suspicious today. I even managed to go through Jungkook's personal phone. It's clean, too clean. Jenny exhaled in frustration. Jenny, don't push yourself, but tomorrow you must find something. The chief could call us in at any moment. We can't show up empty-handed. Fine's eyes darkened. Why, don't worry, but tomorrow something will break. Stay alert, both you and Jack. I may need you. Jenny, got it. I will brief Jack, Jenny replied before cutting the call. One lowered the phone slowly, her reflection in the darkened window staring back at her like a stranger. She hadn't told Jenny about what happened today, about Jungkook's dominance, his silence, that kiss she could not erase from her lips. Something were better buried for now.